student or even a corporate professional, they do use ChatGPT. But again, there has been some great benefits I have seen with 4.0. So that is the reason I have selected this topic and how it is helping me as an entrepreneur in my day-to-day life. Right. So that's what we are going to discuss today. So this is the specific agenda which I have for today, which starts with what is ChatGPT 4.0, right? What is the impact of ChatGPT in everyday life? So I mean, you know that I mean, day to day we do a lot of things. So how does it impact our day to day life? This is what we are going to discuss. There might be some students also here who really want to see how they can really enhance their learning and efficiency per se. And then obviously the corporate professionals, how do you like to streamline your workforce for project management? I've had a great success in project management. So I've handled multiple projects in different countries, and I've seen ChatGPT really being utilized for a multiple different industries and different use cases. I'm going to discuss that as well. We are also going to discuss about prompt engineering basics and advanced versions. I mean, you all know the importance of prompt engineering right now. I mean, we initially started with thinking like prompt engineering is just a small term, but then it started developing into a now a proper industrial kind, what I can say, a course. And then we see a lot of platforms offering this as a proper specialization now. Even I've been to multiple universities and colleges, and this has been now, like for example, AI ML is now one of the particular specialization. You can have it with BTech or let's say with MBA, right? And then I will share you my one of my case studies where I really had a great success with ChatGPT. How do we save time with ChatGPT, and then obviously how do we do more with less? In terms of getting more efficiency with ChatGPT, right? In between, if you have any questions, please leave it in the chat box, and I'll get back to that after this session. Now, yeah, I mean, let's quickly jump in to see what ChatGPT can do. So, if you can really see here on this picture on the left, right? So you see a AI based robot sitting there in middle of that, and then there is a lot of people around surrounding him. Right now, if you see what the technology has changed is now with AI coming into the picture, you actually don't need a person, to actually give a lecture, right? So right now, I'm giving a lecture for this example. Tomorrow there will be a chances where you will see a robot sitting in between all of us and then they giving a lecture. It's just like think about your avatar being there. Just we talk about the digital likeliness and things like that. So this is something what storytelling really works. The only challenge what I see with AI is it cannot understand emotions, and that's where our expertise should come in. So if you can see here very clearly, you can take photos. You can see amazing pictures with DALI and ChatGPT can generate, right? So you can see like in the first picture on the left, this person robot is giving a lecture and he's trying to give a story to different age group of people. So if you see here on this, so if you can see there are a lot of people who are in an age where they are turning old, right? So he's also trying to educate people who are old and talking them about technology, right? So you might have seen our grandparents, or someone who's let's say 70 or 80 years old, and they also want to know about what is technology doing and things like that. So this is just an example of why storytelling really works. Similarly, on the right hand side, if you can see, there's a specific person standing in between. Think about like someone giving a TEDx lecture, right? So you find thousands and 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 people just going to attend that event. Now, with the help of storytelling concept, what ChatGPT comes into the picture is it gives you an entire end-to-end solution, starting with what kind of 1 minute elevator pitch you should have, what kind of specific storytelling you need to have to engage the audience, and what kind of things you can do so that the audience always feel enlightened, right? So this is just an example of why storytelling really matters, right? Now, we'd also talk about fusion of emerging technologies, right? So, if I may ask, right? I mean, you know that there are like a lot of technological aspects we see right now, right? So you talk about Elon Musk, right? So you can see on this very specific screen, right? Like Elon Musk is talking about drones. You can see here. I can also see some kind of lights here, right? So these are called as neon lights. You can see here very specifically, and then we see like a kind of a digitization where we see a lot of like people who are very limited here. Rather it's a driverless kind of a situation where you see there are a lot of cars you can see on the screen, right, but there is no drivers there. And then through this holographic kind of an image, people can, move to different locations, even based upon their emotions. The color changes, right? And this is exactly something which Tesla is working on, to do it in countries like US, where you see this kind of a picture where we talk about the emerging technologies like AI, bringing things, changing in such a way where we, try to use limited information, but we get amazing results, right? So you can see this drones also, for example, this flying drones also capturing a lot of photos and things like that. And then obviously, you can see the future of this IoT, AI, and then all kind of, technology coming into the picture, where you can see amazingly a lot of people, just using sign language to go to different locations. There's also one use case I can think about, like they're working on making it easier for people to walk in. Like in India, we find it little difficult when it comes to pedestrian walking. So AI is one of the aspect which they use in terms of pedestrian walking. So you'll find different places in India in the future, maybe 5 or 10 years later, that there will be signboards and there will be some kind of this neon lights where someone wants to cross a road. So all the public can stop by. The cars can automatically stop by. You don't need even a kind of a manual work there. So it's all going to be automatic. And then people can really walk in, just like you see it in countries like Japan, right? So that kind of an advancement I'm going to see with the coming of fusion of emerging technologies. Now, yeah. So let's talk about, what are the use cases I use for my day-to-day life. I'm sure everyone out there tomorrow want to be an entrepreneur, right? We also want to run our own companies, right? So for me, it really helps me to generate ideas. To create PPTs takes me around 1.5 minutes. That's the maximum time it takes for me to create a PPT. Right. So I've created close to 350 PPTs in last 5 to 6 months, where I have delivered close to 100 plus lectures. So it has really saved me a lot of time. And again, when it comes to idea generation, so on an average, I sign 2 to 3 MOUs with different universities. So logically speaking, I cannot work around with every university, make it a very customized proposal on my own. So ChatGPT 4.0 helps me with all those kind of amazing ideas. What are the ways I can integrate with universities, with different corporates, and try to sign this kind of memorandum of understanding and stuff like that. So this is really helpful for me. Then it also helps me in framing strategies for artificial intelligence and machine learning topics and discussions with corporate professionals. So I can give you an example. When I actually go to events, so I've been close to 650 plus events in last 12 years. So I prepare a summary of each event, what I went go to, and then at the end of the event, I make a habit to reaching out to people on LinkedIn, or let's say on different social media where they're connected, and we discuss on the similar grounds of industries where they're working. So for example, here we have a lot of people I can see who are into artificial intelligence, who are into machine learning, right? Or who are a coder, who are a developer, right? So we can talk more on those aspects and make people comfortable while doing networking and things like that. And ChatGPT gives me all those kind of topics, which is the trending part. So for example, we talk about NLP, right? Or we talk about voice and things like that, right? So those are the really interesting things which I have found. And then these strategies really help me to be on the top of networking. And I believe networking really works because I remember when I was getting the LinkedIn voice generation, that tag from LinkedIn. So I really wanted to work around my strategies to ensure I help a lot of people in terms of lead generation stuff like that. So I started writing and contributing a lot of articles. And ChatGPT has also helped me to give different variety of topics I can write on my LinkedIn. So if you go to my LinkedIn, I do use some content of ChatGPT, but again, I don't recommend to copy paste things from ChatGPT. Maybe customize it based upon what kind of audience you're targeting. All right, so you can take a help. We can take a help of these tools, but we shouldn't use it blindly. That is what I read. And then obviously, it is helping me reach out to the masses in the startup community. So I have actually collaborated with 18 plus different startup, co-working spaces and stuff like that. So it really helped me to network, and all those ideas, all those use cases are really productive to me. You can also think from your point of view, what are the use cases you see with ChatGPT? Right, I'll give you a difference between 3.5 and 4.0 as well. I mean, I'm sure everyone uses 3.5. There will be a lot of people using 4.0, so you can also share your viewpoints in chat box anytime. Right. So yeah, this is one difference I wanted to show. So people ask me, I mean, Abhilekh, like, why do you like ChatGPT 4.0? Why do you advocate more about that? Right. So one of the key things which I really like about GPT or anything related to GPT-4 is it solves difficult problems with greater accuracy. Okay. So when I say difficult problems, means think about some mathematical questions, think about some reasoning questions, which generally a human mind will take a lot of time to answer. But with ChatGPT 4.0, it can really solve the puzzles in quickly in less than a fraction of a minute, right? It has a broader knowledge and a problem solving abilities, yes, because the amount of information it can gather. I'll give you also some kind of use cases where I can share you like what long essays I have developed, using ChatGPT 4.0. I've also had a chance to, prepare some changes to the curriculum of my alma mater, Rikfa Hyderabad. So there were a couple of professors, they reached out to me and they wanted to know whether we can make changes to 1200 MBA students or not to the curriculum and not. And I've used a little bit effort from ChatGPT 4.0, right? So that has been really productive. So even students are getting benefit from this kind of technologies and all. And then there are a lot of Bollywood, Tollywood, and even songwriters who use it for lyrics creation. I am also organizing a lot of events now with the music industry, and I've seen them using ChatGPT 4.0 as well for maybe getting some more ideas over lyrics, maybe checking if what other competitors are doing and things like that, right? So it's now more creative as well, right? And you talk about different organizations, different uh, top producers, top songwriters, right? So they also have started using it with T series and stuff like that, right? So this is something very productive. Now, if you can see, if you can read it, I mean, if you cannot, I will still, read it for you. So on the left hand side, I have an input and an output. If similarly on the right hand side, I have an input and output. Obviously, this is the free version and then the paid version. So when I go with the free version, what they have given is Andrew is free from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Joanna is free from noon to 2 p.m. and then 3:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. Hana is available at noon for half an hour and then 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. What are some options for start times for a 30-minute meeting for Andrew, Hannah, and Joanna? So basically, they have given, three different kind of people. This is Andrew, Hannah, and Joanna, and they have some free time. Okay, so Andrew is free from 11 to 3, Joanna is free from 12 to 2, and then also 3:30 to 5, while Hannah is only available for half an hour at noon, and then 4 to 6 p.m. So basically, if you go to 3.5 and if you give this prompt, it is going to give you common availability saying that, okay, we can go with 4 p.m. Okay, something like the meeting can be scheduled at 4 p.m. But if you go with GPT-4 and the advanced version of Chat GPT, so there you will find it will give you an estimated and the correct timeline. So it will say like, okay, 12 p.m. to 12:30 is the right one, not the 4 p.m. one. The reason being, you can see here very clearly, like, Andrew is not free after 3 p.m. So you can see 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. is where Andrew is free. So Andrew is available between 11 to 3. So the best time will be 12 to 12:30. So with the difference between 3.5 and the GPT-4, what I see right now is the accuracy part, right? So regardless of great use cases you can give to Chat GPT, it is going to make mistakes. Even the GPT-4 will also make mistakes. But again, it's also about the right prompts which you give and the right kind of personas which you give. So when I go to, I'll give you a use case live also in the later part of the session. I'll show you a live use case in ChatGPT 4. So I give a prompt and I say them like, consider me as an entrepreneur. And these are some set of XYZ developers I need to contact. I need to hire them. And these are the things I need to do. So I define those personas well in advance. I give a great prompt so that GPT can be like my friend. They understand what I am actually giving, and then they can give me the right output, right? And that is what I see an importance with GPT 4.0. Now, again, a lot of people ask me, like, Abhilekh, how is it going to impact my day-to-day life? I mean, you've been advising about GPT and stuff like that. So one of the key aspect I see in my day-to-day life happening is communication and assistance, right? So think about you need to go to a grocery shop. Okay, you need to buy 5 or 6 items. Generally, what you tend to do is you write it in your WhatsApp, and then you try to remind yourself. Okay, these are the to-do list. I need to go to the grocery shop and do this. It's like now, how do you optimize time? How do you communicate well in advance, to the people whom you meet, and how do you make the most out of it? So I use ChatGPT. I give them a prompt. I say them, okay, these are the things I need to do in a particular day. These are the time I'm going to spend. Let's say at grocery market. I'm going to have a lecture at a college. I'm going to have, a public event at specific location. I'm going for a networking event which is related with AI. So all those things I'm going to collate and then put around in those chat GPT, and it will give me suggestions saying, look, Abhilekh, good, you're doing everything in process, but this is the best way you can optimize. This is the best way you can spend time there, and this is the best way you can get the better results and productivity, right? So that kind of assistance and communication, it is like my friend. Okay, so it is just like we say chatbots are my friend, right? So it really gives me all those kind of suggestions saying like, okay, this, if you want to spend 30 minutes here, do this kind of activities so can you can have a better productivity. Same thing, think about like you go to Uber, you go to Ola, you take this ride, and the Google gives you a prediction. Okay, you will reach in 30 minutes or 40 minutes based upon the traffic. So this is an assumption. This is also something where they use automation, right? Based upon the past data and stuff like that. Same thing works with ChatGPT. Whatever you feed in, it will learn, it will relearn, and then help you with that context, right? Similarly, one interesting thing that I've seen is the information access part. Right. So I do roughly like around 1,200 prompts a month with GPT 4.0. So for me, it is also important that tomorrow, if there is a similar kind of a genre of person who wants to connect with me, and it's the same use case, I don't have to again go back and give a prompt to GPT-4 and saying like, look, I need to talk to them. What are the things I need to cover up, and what are the things I need to avoid, and things like that, right? So I go back to the GPT-4. I look to the same prompt. I've made it folder wise. I'm going to show you that as well. So it is going to help me with providing those kind of quick information access. And it does help me diverse scenarios. It's just not that if I have a meeting with XYZ person, but also think about like if you want to make a proposal and you've already done it for one specific university, or let's say for a corporate, you want to deliver lecture and you don't want to do it again and again. So obviously you go back and utilize the same prompt. It will give you the same answer again and again, right? This last part is again very important right now because creative assistance is one of the key things I see right now. So I had 10 to 15 sponsors reaching out to me, and they've been saying we also need some help in terms of finding who are the right event management companies who would be interested to take our sponsorship, right? So I give them ideas about, these are the areas where you can probably reach out, and also I reach out to the event management companies parallelly to get the proposal in picture and try to connect both of them. Now, those kind of creative assistance and types of what I can say negotiations, problem solvings, those kind of generated AI ideas, obviously ChatGPT gives me on a day-to-day basis. So I try to connect all the people together. So if you feel there's a sponsor who wants to, do an event and they need a stall, or let's say they want to go to a place, so generally they'll go to their network, they will go to their social media and try to find out all those companies. But now you could be like a creative assistant to them because you've been seeing a lot of posts online, so you can probably plug in. So just like with Copilot, you have an option where you can download it in a PDF or let's say a Word document, whatever ideas you have. So you just put it on Google, and then you can get all those kind of intelligent ideas. So all those things you can customize and you can make it very creative, and you can connect people with using of ChatGPT. Right now, there might be also some students here. I can see a lot of people, who might be students. So you might also need help in terms of submitting assignments at college for research purpose, or let's say for task management. I mean, think about like there are a lot of things you need to do in a day-to-day affairs, especially for reminders. So this is also something which I feel would really help in, right? You can also write in the chat box if what are the things you're doing in terms of providing knowledge to different kind of universities, or doing networking events. I'm sure there will be multiple clubs you're part of, and you would have to promote a lot of things to get sponsors and things like that, right? So you can share ideas about how is ChatGPT actually helping you to enhance your learning and efficiency per se. Right. Now coming back to corporate professionals, I'm sure there are a lot of corporate professionals I can see here. So how professionals can leverage this chat GPT for productivity and task management? One is obviously productivity boost. Okay, so we talk about streamlining the task. We talk about scheduling and data analysis for increased operational efficiency. Right. So my productivity has increased, as I have already said you. Workflow optimization. So obviously I have around close to 1 lakh plus prompts multiple books also on ChatGPT, which I can really cherry pick whenever I want. So let's say I want to prepare something in marketing. So very specific, I have templates for marketing. Similarly, I want to prepare something related with IoT, so I have templates related with IoT. Similarly, I want to talk about customer interactions. So if there's already a customer, they want to come back to me. I have enabled my WhatsApp on my LinkedIn, right? So they send me a message, they give me a context of what they want to talk, and then I can probably help them with those kind of optimization things like that. Similarly, it helps me in decision support. So I am really quick in terms of making decisions whether I really want to work with someone or not. The reason being, I let ChatGPT, give me some kind of assistance in terms of understanding whether they are strategically fit for me or not. I mean, we shouldn't work with everyone. That's what I believe in. So this is something I would really like to highlight. If you really want to use ChatGPT 4.0, use it for workflow optimization and for amazing decision making support and things like that. All right. Yeah. So this is what I wanted to quickly, talk about very scattered part, because again, a lot of people don't know right now what prompt engineering can do. So one of the key things I have seen is the communication part. So the word limit, if you can see, it has now increased with GPT 4.0. Now we have up to close to 25,000. So that's what I say is an essay, right? So I can give a 25,000 word limit, and I can give a prompt something related with that. The best part is the image reading capability. So it can read images very quickly and very nicely, though they do make mistakes with DALI. Like I have seen, like, with DALI, I think what happens is all of a sudden you find you give a prompt, but generally when you download the image, there are some spelling mistakes, right? So that is something the GPT-4 has to work around. It is more accessible to non-English speakers. So I can give you my example. I have had chance to interact with people in 35 countries. So I've been maintaining a lot of relationship, working around with a lot of countries. So for example, I can give you an example. I was giving a lecture yesterday to a college in Nigeria. They speak Swahili, right? So I want to connect someone in Nigeria, and they will speak in Swahili. I'll speak in English. The Chat GPT 4.0 will take care for the conversions and stuff like that. So they keep speaking in their local language. I keep speaking in my local language. So we have close to, I think, 26 plus good languages for non-English speakers. And that really saves me a lot of time, because I cannot learn that language so quick, and I cannot speak in that specific tonality. So it really helps me in terms of, reaching out to more number of non-English speaking countries. One more important thing I wanted to highlight is 82% less likely to respond to requests for disallowed content. Now, there are very smart people. Okay, so they try to use ChatGPT 4.0, thinking, oh, I can really hack, I can really use social engineering and stuff like that. But this ChatGPT 4.0 is super strong, and it will not let you do that. It will not let you give the answer to the prompts. There are some ways and tactics ChatGPT sometimes make mistake, and they do give. But I think with GPT 4.0, it's more secured, and it doesn't help you with disallowed content, things like that. It is more concise, less wordy answers. Yes, because you can see, like, when you give a prompt, it will give you a very specific answer and to the point answers, and it doesn't give you a long elaborate answers and things like that, right? The formatting of the answers is a lot cleaner, right? With GPT 4.0, I've seen is the format which it prepares, right? The way it actually answers your questions, right? It's just too perfect, and that has really been amazing with GPT 4, right? And we can now determine the model's tone, style, and behavior. So we can also know, what style of talk I want. So for example, you like doing shairis, or let's say you like talking in conversational tones. So you can select that tone and then write a post on LinkedIn and things like that. So you can also select different types of tonality, styles, and even behaviors. Whether, let's say, you want a sad post, you want a happy post, you want full with emotions, emojis, and things like that, right? And the best part, it has been incorporated in all the major apps. So there are 160 plus extensions which I use with GPT-4 right now. You talk about Duolingo, you talk about Excel, you talk about Canva. Everything is enabled there. I really don't have to go and go to each of those apps and do all those kind of legwork. So I really go to ChatGPT-4. All those things are enabled. I just have to give a login access once, and then I can utilize it for doing anything. Maybe I want to create a poster, I want to give it to my intern, some tips and things like that, so I can quickly go and get that things done. So that is one benefit I see with the prompt engineering. There are more, but again, considering the the areas which I really wanted to talk about. So these are some of the biggest improvements I have seen with prompt engineering with the basics part. Now, when we talk about the advanced part, okay, so when we talk about the latest part, right? So here we talk about what are the specific AI interactions are we going to give, right? So there are chances that you want to probably make an app, make it very effective, and then also get reviews from different developers and testers, right? So that those kind of complex prompt structures you can give. You can also get precision and customization. So let's say I want to get a very specific targeted response from retail supermarkets. I want to know whether my product is going to be successful or not. So ChatGPT can give me the history. It can give me what are the different like use cases people have really spoken in the past about retail supermarkets. So if I'm doing a market research specifically to that area, to a particular city, or even to a particular locality, it can give me that kind of a precise answer, and it can really help me with customization, right? So this is something I really wanted to discuss on the advanced prompt engineering part. Quickly jumping on to the case study part, right? So this has been my favorite. I'm sure you know that one of the key aspect of ChatGPT is also the ethical considerations and stuff like that, right? And one of the key challenges we see right now in the Bollywood, in the Hollywood, as well as in Tollywood or any different industry is deepfake videos, right? So I'm working on an idea with a not-for-profit organization where we are trying to solve this problem. So I've given a prompt something like, can I create a deepfake dataset for likeliness of a real human action? Right, so it has given me some three different you can see solutions where it is saying me, look, these are the software you need, this is the video and auto data collection model you need, and this is the training and manipulation data you need. So we are working with one of the producer in UK. They work with Netflix and Amazon Prime. So tomorrow you might see a lot of videos of let's say great celebrities, Hollywood, Bollywood, or any other industry, and they will have their one single digital likeliness, because again Netflix don't want to spend a lot of money for getting people to travel to different countries and to do shooting. So they can save a lot of money, the production houses can save a lot of money by creating one digital likeness. It has to be approved on blockchain per se, but one actor will have one digital likeness, and this is what we are doing a project right now with Amazon Prime and Netflix. And I believe tomorrow when you see actors coming on Netflix and Amazon Prime, so it might be their digital likeness. Okay, so it might be their avatars, which is learning the way how they talk, the lip sync movements, the videos, and things like that, right? So this is what is one of the interesting success story I can see with ChatGPT. This is what the kind of technological benefit one can have, and obviously for the actor purpose also, I can see tomorrow if Akshay Kumar wants to travel, but unfortunately he cannot shoot two different movies, so he can use his digital likeness to take care for the second one, right? So this is something amazing which I see with technology working out, and this is something very interesting which I am working on. Now, when we talk about how do we save time with ChatGPT, I mean, everyone here really knows a lot of things, right? So one of the key things what I've seen is there are a lot of repetitive tasks we do on a day-to-day basis, right? So think about like working on Excel sheets, working on PowerPoint presentations, right? So how can you utilize the same presentation and make it in a very customized format with amazing pictures and use it again and again? So that is what ChatGPT can help you. Even if you recorded, let's say, a video maybe 1 year before, that same prompt can be saved, and that same thing can be applied after a year as well, right? Similarly, how about you get that information back, right? So I've already discussed this earlier that all the prompts I can get it back, right? Similarly, your automated research. So I mean, I do a lot of data analysis. I do a lot of and insights gathering and even surveys and stuff like that. And I feel like ChatGPT is really helping in terms of saving time, because if I want to go to SurveyMonkey and do it manually versus if I ask ChatGPT to prepare a data and then try to integrate with a survey form and then try to download the data for me, that is much easier than me doing things manually, right? Even SurveyMonkey has actually brought AI into the picture. I can see that if you feel you don't want to give the prompts or give the questionnaire to people, so it will ask you, give me a context, and it will make all the surveys for you, right? So even every survey companies are also using ChatGPT and things like that. All right, and the last part which I wanted to discuss is doing more with less. I think one of the key aspect I see right now with ChatGPT is enhanced task management. So obviously the time management, as I've already spoken about, and even organizing the task. I mean, this is one thing which we don't, we always tend to forget. Okay, so let's say you have a specific day and you really need to organize a lot of things. Let's assume you are organizing a workshop. Okay, so let's say you want to bring a lot of people and you want to be super productive in terms of prioritizing your task effectively, right? So this has really helped, in terms of doing that with higher efficiency. And then these two topics we have already discussed about workflow optimization, task delegation, and coordination as well, right? Now, before I quickly go back to my presentation, because most of the things I've already covered, so I'll quickly show you my Chat GPT. Just confirm if you can see my Chat GPT. Anyone in the chat box can confirm. I'm assuming I can see in my mobile, so I think it is visible. Okay, great. So you can see this is an amazing Chat GPT prompt which I have. And then you can see here, I have installed AI PRM Chat GPT prompt. I highly recommend if you have not installed this. So this has all the prompts inbuilt, right? So it really has, it's available. You can Google it, it's free to use and things like that. So I have multiple versions of GPT. One you can see is obviously I have with DALI, with browsing advanced and data analysis. Then sometimes people do ask like, okay, I want to also talk about specific, like I really want to know an extra thing, let's say about plugins. Okay, so I want to use plugins and things like that. So for plugins also I have something extra which I can use it, right? And then for browsing, I mean, so if you have a link, if you go with 3.5, it cannot read that much efficiently. But with ChatGPT 4.0, those links can also be read. So that is an advantage I have with GPT-4. So I'm just quickly going to show you some of the things on the GPT-4. So if you can see here, these are the shortcuts I have, right? So I have installed Super Pro GPT. You can see this one. Yeah. And then this output, I can have it in different languages. I was speaking about different languages. So here you can see 20 plus different languages. I mean, local language, or let's say international language. I mean, you name it. So it can really do that. You can also send your voice recording and it can really, get you the solution. Then you have tones. So whether you want an emotional tones or whether you want something else, then the writing style, whether you want poetic or others, I'll have to, go and show you more. And then obviously, I have Canva inbuilt. All right, there are more. So I can just quickly run you through what are the different, things you have. So you can see here, these are the top picks. I mean, obviously GPT is also going to suggest. So one thing I can tell you, like in next 3 or 4 months, I believe in US, they have already started rolling on an option. So if you have an app, you can put it on the GPT store. In India also, it is going to come. They are going to reward it. So not financially, but something in terms of different ways. So more on non-monetary. So they are going to reward, and then you can see what are the trending. So I guess everyone knows about the Canva app. Then we have image generator, we have logo creator, right? Video GPT. So sometimes I'm lazy. I don't want to, go to my Instagram and generate videos. So I can really go to this video GPT and it will give me some suggestions on what are the videos I can post on my Instagram, right? Same thing about my PDF. So you know that one of the key things is about where you can put all your PDFs at one place, right? So basically, it's a free Chrome extension, right? You can just go and see. And then obviously, there are also people who want to write articles, but they don't want AI to catch that. So this is an humanizer pro, which ensures that it will bypass most of the AI detectors. So it will look like a human is writing an article and things like that, right? So that is also something there. There are more, but again, these are some of the interesting one which I like. So this is my favorite. I use it. If you see the storytelling images in the one which I posted, it was through DALI, right? So this is an interesting one, right? Similarly, if you are very creative and you feel you want to give some tips on coloring photo pages and things like that, so this is also something for creative people. A browser, then classic, right? So there are a lot I can keep on saying. I mean, yeah, I mean, this is also my favorite. If I want to negotiate with others, let's say you're making a proposal and you want to win a specific use case, so you can use the negotiator app to get a better outcome to winning things like that, right? So these are some of my top picks. I mean, obviously you can go and see, like there are different use cases we can have. If you're a writer, you can use different apps. If you're thinking about increasing your productivity, so you can use it for different use cases. Similarly, if you want to get into PhD or if you want to do market research and things like that. Similarly, for programming, there are a lot of things for coding, debugging, and testing and learning. Similarly for education and then for lifestyle, right? So this is all more on tips on traveling, workout, style, food, and things like that, right? So you can also search like this. You can manually create a new GPT also. That's what the advantage of GPT 4 is. Right. So these are some of the prompts I searched. Let me see if I can go back and show you. So these are some community prompts. So when I say community prompts means these are the prompts which everyone is suggesting to ChatGPT. So we have a lot of categories. So let's take for example coding. I think this will interest everyone a lot. So let's say I want to generate a specific journeyman programmers programming skills I want to talk about, right? So what are the prompts I can give? Right? Or let's say I want to find something related with the assimilator. Okay, so I want to design something with programming tasks and things like that. Or let's say I want to do something like doc string and comment, so I can use this shortcut. So I just need to click this use button. Automatically, it will give me the solution, right? So you can see this is just with coding. Now I can show you. So I like copywriting, for example. So let me see what are the things already available for copywriting. Yeah. So AI generated text transformation I can do. I can do blog post. I can generate some amazing veg meal planner. Okay. I can create my resume. I can write on a gig. I can also talk about my resume achievements. I can talk about cover letters prompts, cover letters. So there's a lot of things we can talk about, in terms of business, in terms of different topics. So you can see these are the amazing community prompts which is already inbuilt in GPT-4, and I can use it, right? So you name any industry, we can find those things, right? So everything is here. Anything. If you like SaaS, so software as a service, so it can help you with email prompts, it can help you with skill sets. Okay, it can also give you some suggestion for LinkedIn, how to add new people to LinkedIn, right? Things like that. So there are like a lot of things we can talk about, and then obviously languages is already been shown. And then this is also interesting thing. Like I want to use the most used one. Okay, the people who are using again and again, right? So people are talking about full stack developer. Similarly, I want to talk with the ones who have been most voted. So people are talking about product managers, and let's say my prompts. Okay, so what are the prompts I am searching? So currently, I have not enabled anything here, but I'm just saying you can add here. You can share the prompts to public. Okay, so this you can make it public as well. So I have not shared it to the public yet, but I think you can also share it by this button. Right, coming back to quickly to ChatGPT. Okay, so yeah, anyone wants to give me a prompt or anyone has an idea, you want to see how GPT-4 is better than GPT 3.5? So anyone in the chat box, if you feel you want to give me a prompt or I can take it randomly. I'm assuming, yeah, everyone is here. So let me quickly take a prompt history. Okay, so you can see. Okay, so let me just, yeah, so this is one of my favorite. So yeah, I've just taken a random one. So the prompt which I have taken is I sell A, which is product or service, to B. B has a problem C, which is core customer's pain point. B can solve C by D, which is the value proposition. Frame the above sentence based off my startup ideas attached. Okay. So, but again, I've not attached my startup ideas. Let me give some startup ideas. Okay. So let me give some startup ideas I collected, recently in co-working spaces. So I'm just giving two startup ideas considering the time we have. So okay, so this is one I am my favorite. So business for not-for-profit organizations. Now, how do we ensure that? Because again, not-for-profit organizations also need to make money, right? So this is one idea I've seen. So see, you can see how quickly it has given me a short answer to this. So I sell comprehensive management software to not-for-profit organizations. And the problem with them is efficiency, managing their operations, fundraising, and donor engagement in a cost-effective manner. Not-for-profit organizations can solve this problem by adopting our intuitive all-in-one management platform that offers features like donor tracking, event management, and reporting tools, all tailored for the unique needs of not-for-profit organizations. So you can see, I just gave them a use case with one, like a different industry, like not-for-profit. So you can think about a management software which you can create and pitch into a not-for-profit organization. Similarly, let me take a second startup idea. Okay. So I'm taking an education sector. So there will be a lot of lecturers. They come to me even when I also teach. So they want the students to be like much focused, okay, in the class, right? So how can we make the students much focused in the class? How can they be attentive and things like that, right? So here's a solution. I sell an interactive learning platform to educators and schools. Educators and schools face a problem with maintaining student engagement and attention during classes, which impacts learning outcomes. Educators and schools can solve this problem by integrating an interactive learning platform, which uses gamification, real-time feedback, and personalized learning parts to capture and maintain students' attention, thereby enhancing their engagement and learning efficiency. So you can see like it is giving me some ideas. What are the key areas which I can figure out is these are the three things I can see: gamification, real-time feedback, and then personalized learning part. So based upon this, if I have a startup idea, likely are the chances the educators, the schools would really like me to talk to them. Okay, so this is how the chat GPT 4 really helps me. So I just have to give the right prompt. So I didn't even had to type myself this prompt. So I just took it from the community prompt or from the prompts which I saved, right? So you can see this is just a tip of the iceberg. There are like a lot of other ways you can find out to do this, and then there you also have an option to rewrite it, to paraphrase it, to explain it in a better way, to clarify it, to expand and then summarize, right? So even if you feel like the response which you have got is not up to the mark, you want to change it, you want to make some changes to the answer and the output. So you can also use these kind of different approaches where you can actually have amazing things and stuff like that, right? So these are the things I wanted to discuss. I think we are just 3 minutes before. So yeah, I mean, I'm open now for question and answer. I think I would like to stop in terms of sharing my screen and happy to answer any questions which you have for me.